and all these here things what we used to make at the foundry and everything, brackets and frieze work and all that. I've lived in Gawler all my life. That's 80 years and 6 months it'll be really now. And I was born up Gawler East and went to the model school, and then I left school when I was 15 and went to the Eagle Foundry to work. We used to charge the furnace with cast iron and open the mould and chop mould and all these things and that. And then we used in the morning, after have to leave them in all night. Then in the morning, we used to come and knock them out and then clean them up on the emery wheel and the wire brush to brush all the dirt and everything off of them. So I was there from 15 till I was 72.
The cast iron used to ornament buildings in Mr. Thomson's day had many advantages. It was made weatherproof by a coat of paint. It could be cast to form many designs and was strong enough to be used as a structural member of a building. It could then be strong, durable, and beautiful. Cast iron enriched the basically simple forms of the early houses. In some of the best examples, pillars and brackets were a structural part of the building. In later examples, the iron was limited to mere decoration. Where once the supporting framework of a veranda was all iron, in later years, the supporting columns were of wood, with ironwork limited to ornamental friezes and brackets. Here is a garden pagoda, a fantasy in iron, built so that the owner could climb up to read a book every evening. The early Australian homes were simple in plan and solidly built. Ironwork gives their cool verandas an additional shade. The sunlight picks out surface details in the mouldings, and shadows cast by bracket and railing embroider patterns on wall and pavement.
Well, the cast iron is a lot better because you can pick it out so well, you see. You've got a lot of these fringe work like that. You get different sorts of paint, you can make that look beautiful.
The designs seem to come from the very plants in the gardens, leaves, flowers and fruit. Some castings are small, feathery and erect. Others are bold, definite and martial.
Remember all these here standards there and the posts, and we had all that on the Bushman Hotel there that we made all them. Years ago when we used to make them, you used to have to get a big long pipe like you have for water pipe and get hay and wet it and bind it around like you would a bit of string around this pipe, and then you get a mixture of all sorts of loom, they used to call it then. So when you put that in the mold, when you moulded your big column like they got in front of the Bushman Hotel there, that's to make the inside so it's all alike, so it's not so heavy. You'd never, if you made it solid, you'd never be able to lift it. And it'd be too strong altogether, you see. So now they make them with like the loom, with this here rope and all that. Well, then you put that in the mold. Well, then when you pour your mold, that runs around and all that and makes a hollow there, just the same as that ring in there. Well, then that all burns all up like the rope. You must have that rope and stuff on to take what they call the gas You've got to fetch the gas away from the mould. Yes, when the metal goes in, it'll blow all up. But you have vents in there. You'd have a bit of wire or something like put in there, and then there'd be a hole. Well, you light that with a skimmer, what you skim the dirt off. You light that. Well, that lights the gas, and that starts burning. Well, then your mould is all of a solid. But otherwise, if you didn't have that, you might get great blowholes in it and blow up, and the mould would be no good.
Many of the streets near Mr. Thomson's home have old houses. Their walls are solid, roofs high, and verandas wide and cool.
With the old houses like that, they always had verandas on them to protect the sun from getting at their houses. And another thing with the old houses, the walls was that much thicker. It took that much longer for the heat really to get into your home, to get hot. But with the houses at the present day, they heat up in a couple of days, and once they get hot, they take a good while to cool off.
Some rather unusual household objects were made from cast iron. For example, doorstops, money boxes, frames for mirrors and watches. These articles were smaller in scale than the usual work undertaken in the foundry, and show the skill which craftsmen had developed.
You can't get the quality of cast iron what you could years ago. So you used to get a lot of the pig iron from Newcastle and get a lot out from England, what they call English pig iron. Well, they used to bring it out for ballast in the boats, and it was always delivered at Port Adelaide, and then it was brought up here with the trucks and that from Adelaide to Gawler. Well, that was beautiful. That was all, when you broke it in halves, that was all like silver in between that, and it was just like spreading butter on a bit of bread. It was that soft. Well, at the present time today, you can't get that sort of stuff. What they make in Newcastle is a lot closer, and it's a lot harder to break and all that, and it's not, you couldn't make a mold, say, and want to turn that up in the lathe or bore holes in it. The stuff which you get out from England, that'd be a lot easier to bore, and what to see the stuff you get the present day.
Whenever Mr. Thomson goes out, he passes fine examples of his craft.
Years ago, when we were boys going to school, we used to get stones and knock these heads off. But now, after we've grown up, we know we was doing the wrong thing. But it spoiled the fence to a certain extent.
The strength of the iron deceives the eye with its delicate pattern. It is cool and firm to the touch, quite different from plastic or chrome, which is used so much everywhere now.
At the Bushman Hotel there, and the same as the Lyndon Hotel there, I suppose they've been there 50 or 60 years, and they're just as solid now as when they was put there. Brackets and all the posts and all that, and just the same as down there at the Lyons Hotel there. That we made all that work. That's many, many years ago, since I suppose that had to be 20 to 30 years since they was all made. But you can see how well they've been made and how they still show out so well on the balcony there of Lyons Hotel there. My father, he was born over in England, and they come out on the boat, and he worked at Martin and Co. years ago. They used to build locomotives them days, and he started working there. Well, then he found out working for wages wasn't much good, so he started the foundry around King Street, what they call the Eagle Foundry. And my grandmother and grandfather, and I think there was 3 brothers come out from England, and 1 sister come out from England. So he thought when they come from Glasgow, he'd call his house Glasgow Cottage. And I think the name was still up there, Glasgow Cottage. And I think it's on the headstone up the cemetery. They got Eagle up, and it's Eagle Foundry. The name is still up, D. Thomson, Gawler. The name, they still run under the old name of Thomson.